In this video, we implemented something exciting. So I'm new to AI, but we tried it out, okay? So here, when we click this brain icon button, we can see the prompt right here. And then once we add the portfolio intro section with friendly emojis, right? And align to center, it will be nice to have one heading and two paragraphs. Okay, so let's take a look in the text section here. Oh, boom. They are gonna give you some starting point and then you can make some minor adjustment, right? It's saying, hi, I'm a web developer. I'm passionate about creating beautiful functional websites and web applications, blah, 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 blah. Right, and then you can add a link from here and then add background if you want to, right? So there are tons of features we can use, including the AI we just created. So if you like this kind of content, do not forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get started. All right, now let's have fun with the AI here. Yeah, first time for me to implement, so I'm gonna struggle a lot. But let's just start to creating some button here. And the once user clicks button down here, then we're gonna open up the prompt, okay? So let's go to Codebase. There should be some good place to go. The section container right here. And the section container menu is the guide that we are seeing on the right side here, okay? So somewhere around here, when each text section, I'm gonna have one component called a text AI prompt or something like that. AI dialog, something like that. Okay. So here, maybe we can say text section AI dialog. So I'm gonna create this component somewhere here, the text section. Let's try that. Text section AI dialog.tsx. And then once we create the component, we're gonna change the name properly, right? And then we'll be importing, right? So here we're gonna have some button to start with, okay? So here menu bar item, and then in there I'm gonna have a brain icon. Yeah, this guy, I like it. So then we're gonna see some button on the right side here. So let's give some little bit of different color this time. This time I'm gonna give the BG maybe purple-ish color, maybe somewhere 400. Yeah, nice. And then when I hover over it, maybe I can darken color a little bit. So hover BG purple, maybe somewhere around 600. Let's take a look. All right, nice. So once the user clicks it, then we're gonna open up the modal that has a prompt, okay? So let's go to shadcn documentation as usual, right? Shadcn, maybe we can say dialog, right? Shadcn dialog, we're gonna copy paste, right? This one is kind of okay, so I'm gonna just use this one for now. I don't want to spend too much time here. So here copy paste, but we're gonna copy paste to here, and then this type gotta go down, right? And then this specific button, we're gonna move it to dialog trigger, okay? And then let's delete the rest here. Yeah, so looking good, awesome. So then once we click it, it's gonna open up the modal. So let's see, nice, right? And then we're gonna make an adjustment to here, okay? So here I'm gonna have dialog title to be, generate text section with AI, okay? And then description will be give some detail to get, better results, right? So that's something we want. Yeah, let's see how things will go. I'm not sure. So, and then we're gonna remove those everything. I don't think we need any of these. No need. We only need one label, and then we don't need it. Yeah, so we only need one label and then input, right? And then at the same time we need to have form, right? You know what, let's create one more here. So I'm gonna say text section AI form. Yeah, we may need to change the folder structure, but let's see, right? So here I'm gonna just say the text section AI form, okay? And then let's create a component here. See text section AI form, right? And then let's import. Let's delete this guy because we're gonna use a shadcn form here, right? So let's go to shadcn in the search form, right? And then we're gonna just copy paste the whole thing here, okay? So example, let me see if there's any good example. Yeah, the whole example is not here. This one is close to whole example, so let's quickly do that here. So copy paste as usual, right? And then change the name, looking good. And then let's delete everything. A little bit of missing pieces here, so let's get them all. The one that we are missing is here, so these guys. So let's get that. Awesome. So everything is looking good, but I'm gonna change the name here to maybe AI prompt schema. Okay, AI prompt schema, AI prompt schema, and then I'm gonna just update the schema here to get the prompt. Okay, so prompt will be string and the minimum 2. Message user must be a prompt must be at least 2 characters. I think this one is good enough. I'm gonna change it to prompt here, default value empty string, and then we're gonna change the prompt here. Label should be just ask AI, something like that. So that's label, and then here maybe you can say web dev portfolio lending intro section, maybe intro section. Yeah, so this is one of the example. We can maybe copy paste and then use it. Form description, we can say try to give as much details as possible. So then looking good. Here we're gonna console log here. Maybe we can just have, oh, we don't have a type here. Let's get the prompts. Type prompts. We're gonna have on submit. On submit will be prompt here, and then it's going to be string. So then we're gonna say on submit and then pass the values the prompt. Here we can change the name a little bit here to submit. Okay, so looking good. Why is it complaining? Because we are not accepting it yet. So looking good. Let's delete this guy. Oh, sorry, I think I need to change the text area instead. Yeah, so looking good. So then now let's try to import it here and then see what is gonna happen. Okay, on submit is missing, right? So I'm gonna say on submit. For now I'm gonna just do console log. So let's try it. When I open up the model, yeah, nice, right? And then maybe we can ask what dev portfolio intro section, something like that. Submit. Then we should see some console log. Let's quickly check. Yeah, as you can see, we are seeing it, right? Save change. Let's delete that one. Okay, so here I'm gonna delete this folder. Okay, instead I'm gonna have some state, right? So const use state boolean initially false is open, so that we can close the model after form submission done, right? So set is open. Let's quickly change that. Open is open. On open change, set is open. And then we're gonna have a handler here, const submit. So on submit, we're gonna submit it, right? Let's just submit it here like that. Then we're gonna get the prompt, right? Prompt string, and then we're gonna do log with the prompt, and then do necessary AI related task here. Yeah. Let's take a look one more time. Yeah, so everything is looking good. Oh, sorry, I think we should have closed the model, right? Or maybe let's leave it open until we complete the task, right? We don't want to open, close, right? So I'm gonna mark it false, but comment it out for now. Yeah, awesome. So let me just quickly commit here. So I think UI wise it's done, I believe, right? So I'm gonna just make a quick commit, add UI for AI integration. Now let's try to browse around AI tool. This time I wanted to try the Gemini. So Gemini API, it's pretty okay, I would say. Yeah, but there might be some place to improve as an AI for sure. But I just want to give it a shot. Okay, so in the documentation here, you need to sign up properly and then just to follow the documentation, right? You can go to quick start, right? Gemini quick start, and then choose the JavaScript since we're using next.js. Install the dependency, right? So let's quickly install it. Here, install. Yeah, while it's installing, let's read a little bit more. Get Gemini API key in Google AI Studio, right? So let's go there, right? Then you should be able to get it. I already created it. If you don't have it, then you just need to create an API key, right? So my API key is here. I'm just going to copy it. okay? And I can just put it, paste here and copy the whole thing, right? So I think this is it pretty much. Let's take a look. So here I'm gonna create one lib file, lib folder and file. Here I'm gonna call it Gemini / index.ts. Okay, so here I'm gonna just copy whole thing, okay, and then test a little bit and see how it's gonna work. Okay, so I have installed the tsx package before. So if you go to package.json, tsx, this package allow me to run the TypeScript file directly, right? So I'm gonna run this file directly. So here we have the content, right? Explain how AI works in a few words, right? So if I just do tsx lib folder Gemini index.ts, if I run it, if you take a look here, AI uses algorithms to learn from data and make predictions and decisions, right? So that's AI. If you give more details, then it's gonna answer much more. Let's give it a shot. What do you want to ask? Explain about YouTube and how to grow as YouTube content creator. Yeah. So let's take a look what it's gonna say, right? Come on. Sometimes it takes a little longer time. And then, by the way, it's using Gemini 2.0 Flash version. There are many different models, functional. We can just check here, right? So all models here, yeah, 2.5 is, we can see it's still in experimental or something, right? I'll be using this shiny symbol. That's what we are using currently, okay? If you want to see, more detail, you can take a look at the documentation and then choose what you need, okay? So capability wise, you can generate the text, image, video, long context, and then you can get the structured output, thinking, all different stuff, right? But I'll be using either text generation or structured output, maybe function calling, but I don't think we need to go that much far, but let's see how things will go, okay? So here, yeah, let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, we have quite a bit of content generated, right? Wow, really long. So we're gonna use this model to see how things will go. My goal with the AI is creating the text section here. So let's say I'm creating new text section. Yeah, so with this text section, I'll be generating text editor content. So based on that, I'm gonna make this reusable function, okay? So here I'm gonna say ask AI, and then I'm gonna have all parameter using generate content parameters, okay? So this is what I'm going to accept here. Yeah, maybe you can say params too, right? So params, param, and then I'll be just passing everything. So content, including content, I'll be just receiving, okay? So here I'm gonna say params. Here model is declared. So what I will do here is omit model. So we cannot change the model anymore. So omit the model from this generate content params from this params, okay? So looking good. And then what we want to return will be the promise generate content response. So here I'm gonna use it as a return value. Then we can just do this return response. We can reuse this function many times, okay? So what I would do here is narrate text ts, okay? So here I'm gonna create one function called generate text. That is the function that we want to do with AI. Okay, let's try it. So here I'm gonna ask AI, and I'll be passing the prompt, okay? Then AI will give the response. Here we can pass all different kinds, right? We can pass the contents, and then we can pass the config, right? Config that include many different properties that we can pass. I'm gonna consider using the structured output. So my goal here is ask them to give me the structure, and then I'm gonna send that query to Prisma client. So here it shows good examples. Inside of the config, you're gonna have response type, application JSON, and then response schema, and then you just create the structure the way you want. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so let's go to code base, and then I'll be getting the content first here. The contents that is a string. Okay, the content we're gonna pass it directly. The config we're gonna give the system instruction, and then I'm gonna just brainwash
the AI to be a website builder, okay? And your name is maybe, WB, specialized in creating wonderful contents. Yeah, so that's just brainwashing them a little bit, right? And then we're gonna give more instruction, like such as what is the response the type application, because we want to get the JSON. We need to specify the structure that we want to receive as a return type. Okay, so we're gonna give them the type that is some sort of object. Okay, so when we don't know what type of object that we want, we can just try to send a query, right? So a text dot create, and then try to give them, right? So the data we need to pass is maybe we can try to give an update, right? So update, because at this time it's been generated, right? So if you take a look, we can get the content for sure, right? And then external link, we don't need to worry at this point. Yeah, and then maybe row position, right? Yeah, I think these two are good enough. Contents and the row position. The row position is this one, right? So if you press here, it's just a row position alignment, right? So that's what it's talking about. Oh, what is happening? Yeah, some glitch happening, right? Yeah, we need to fix it, but now it's okay based on what I see. So here, yeah, so that's what we need. So at the end, the object we want is content and the row position. That is all, nothing else. So here, what I would do is I'm gonna have a type object, and then require that what I want to get will be content. So this one must be returned, okay? So row position, so that's what I'm telling them. Hey, I need this for sure, right? So position, right? And then we're gonna give the some structure, okay? So properties that include the content. The content type is the string that includes this string, okay? The string that we want to have some sort of HTML structure. So if you go to schema file, we have some example. So we have a default value of the text, this one. So this one is some example that we want to pass, okay? So when we generate it, we can pass some examples, okay? So example will be something like that. So this one, H1, this is heading, and the P tag, you can blah, 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 right? So we're gonna give them some example, right? And then at the same time, we want to give some description saying that this one will be tip editor content that includes maybe HTML text for headings and paragraph, right? Yeah, I think let's give this much for now and then see if it's gonna work, okay? And then we can give a little bit more, like such as title, right? The title we can give like, the website builder, text section, data, I will say. So we just give them as many information as possible. And the second property that I want to receive is the row position, not this row position. And then we need to give them more example, okay? So here we're gonna just copy paste so that we don't need to type every single thing. So the row position is the string, but we have options. We're gonna use the enum, right? So enum, that is row position dot left, and the row position dot center, and the row position dot right. So these are the enum that we've been using anyway. So these are that, and then example will be, we can use the enum row position dot left as an example, right? Then we can remove the example, this long one, right? And then we can give some description, maybe content alignment, I would say. So content alignment, yeah, so looking good. Title will be, I don't know, a website builder, maybe text section alignment. Yeah, let's do that. Alignment, okay. Yeah, I think this one is good, I will say. So give them as many information as possible, as detailed information as possible. You can give more to where you're sending the content to, right? So, but this one, let's just try this way for now. So then we're gonna get the response, and then we can get the text. Oh, sorry, I think this one we need to handle async, right? Because it returns promise. So let's give async here and then await. So this guy will return text. Let's try to console log and see, right? So console.log and then that. And then let's delete this one. We don't need it. So here I'm gonna import this one to here. Send the prompt. Let's just send the prompt, right? Generate text. Let's take a look. Oh, I guess this one is wrong. Import generate text. Yeah, this is not what we need. Generate text from Gemini, right? So looking good. So let's take a look at the console log and then see what is gonna happen. Okay. So yeah. So let's take a look. So here I'm gonna say web dev portfolio. Let's open up the console log here. Oh, take a look. The object got generated, right? So here include content, web development portfolio. Welcome to my web development portfolio. Blah 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 blah. And then row position center. Awesome. This is exactly what I want. So yeah, great. So then we're gonna use this prompt to update the text. So in this case, we normally have the text section generated already, right? That's why we can click this one, right? So then what it means, we can just
Update right away.
but I don't want to mix logic here. I'm gonna get just to return the value first, okay? So here I'm gonna return. If you look at it carefully, this is not JavaScript object. This is JSON string, right? So we need to parse it, right? So here I'm gonna parse the response.text first. But here, if you take a look, it can be undefined based on what I see. So then I'm gonna do this, okay? So if the response.text does not exist, then I'll be returning the no, okay? Otherwise, I'm gonna parse it. Awesome. So let's take a look at the return value. Currently it's any, right? So what I would do is creating some return type here. So type, maybe response type. It's going to be promise, and then that includes object with the content will be text content, and then row position is from text row position. So either this object or no. So that is this return type. I'm gonna give that for now. I know we can make the type declaration a little bit better, but for now let's leave it, okay? So looking good. Then we can handle this one outside. So let's handle it here. Once I get it, const, maybe this one is text data, okay? Let's give the async here because it's a returning promise await, right? So then it's gonna know what data type is looking like, right? So looking good. If text data is existing, then I'll be updating this section, okay? So we probably have update text somewhere. Let's take a look what data we need to pass. Yeah, nice. So we have data that we can pass here. We don't have ID yet. We're gonna get it. Data, we can pass it here. Data content and the row position. Exactly the same as this
Text the data, right?
So we're gonna just pass text data. Looking good. So let's get the text ID from
The parent, right? So text ID, text from Prisma client ID, and then let's accept it and then pass it to here. Awesome. We should not forget to pass the text ID from the parent too, right? So text ID is text ID. Awesome, right? So then let's quickly test, right? So if we just go here, so here, if we do web dev as an example, we're getting the data for sure here. Welcome to my web development, but our UI does not change, right? But here, as you can see, something happened. So I think something we need to debug here. So I'm gonna go to source directory and then go to maybe use TextEditor, which is the hook that we are actually, passing this data. So if you take a look, we're receiving the content from the DBA. Gotcha. So we are using useEffect hook. So except the initial rendering, the content does not change, even though this content from DB changes, right? Okay, so in that case, let's go to our use text editor. And then here, when I receive this, maybe we can have this one as a default value, probably. And then when this content changes, right, we want to regenerate it. And then when user is changing the content over the browser, then we're gonna set content. And then once content gets updated, then we're gonna debounce it. And then we're going to update in the text section probably. So debounce the content to here. Yeah. So when debounce changes, then we're gonna update. So here in this case, when these two are not equal, but at the moment this two will be the same. Let's just try, right? Let's just try. And then one thing I want to do is just 3 seconds is too long, so 300 milliseconds might be good. So let me give it a shot. So here, web dev website. Yeah, something changes, but in split second it comes back, right? So let's debug a little bit. Okay. So here I'm gonna maybe let's go to text section. So text section, we are updating the database when debounced content and the content are not the same, right? Yeah. So let's give it a shot. Web dev submit. So content, welcome to my web development journey, right? And then the content is this is your head, right? So in this case, when content changes, this hook runs, and then the older one is just sent to database again. Let me try a little bit more. Yeah, so I think that is what is happening. Let me make it a little bit smaller so that I can see. Maybe I can bring it to the bottom here. Let's check the down here. So we want to see debounce the content. Yeah, so it's just overriding the older one, which is no good, right? So in that case, I might be considering to remove, let me go to text section here, the content. I don't want to run this, callback when content from database changes, okay? So I'm gonna delete that. Let me try. I'll be putting breakpoint to here, okay? So here, web dev. So content is a new one. Welcome to my web dev. But debounced one is web development. Oh, I changed it, right? But different now. So content, welcome to my web development journey, right? And then it becomes, this is your heading, right? And then it overwrites it. So which is no good. Oh, now debounced is web development, right? Content is welcome to my web development. Let's check. The content was welcome to my web development. Let me see. Oh, it changed it. Let me refresh it. Yeah, I think this is correct then. Let me try one more time. So here, let's change it to designer website. Oh, it changes, but it gets back. Okay, I'll try to minimize re-rendering as much as possible. Okay, so let's just try to go with this one, the update here. The update, we regenerate this function when toaster changes. So I'm gonna go in here. Let's cache this function. So use a callback and then give the dependency array. So only first time we're gonna generate this function, right? Then what it means, this update function will never ever change. So this one is good. Row position changes. Maybe we don't want to run this. I know this is not ideal and we're getting some warnings. Let's say ignore for now. Let's fix the bug first. And then when row position, I don't think we need to compare anything. This one I'm gonna just remove it. Just when the position changes, I'm gonna align the text, right? So let me try, because a lot of re-rendering happened. Let me just refresh. I'm gonna say designer website. Yeah, only one time update. And then this one changed it. Yeah, so I think it was multiple re-rendering caused this issue. Since we're using use effective hook, we need to be a little bit careful, right? So web dev portfolio intro section with the emojis. Yeah, it changes. Update. Awesome. And then we need to see like the text alignment too, right? So here we're looking at the center. Let me see web dev. That's right. This one center looking good. But I want to see if we are getting left. Come on. Yeah, left. But this guy doesn't change, right? So let's go to our code base again. So when we go to when row position changes, the position changes, we need to do something, right? In this case, when position changes, we somehow need to catch when position changes, right? In this case, I will just make it a little bit simple, okay? So I'm gonna have use effect, and when the position changes, I'm gonna set row position, okay? Position. Let me just give it a shot. So here, let's try one more. Web devs, submit, center. Center is fine. Center. I want to see left or right. Maybe I can just say align to right. Let me see. Now it's aligning to the right. And then let's try this left. Okay, so I think this one is good now. While typing, it's like that. Lose the focus. Let me just quickly check. Some glitch thing happening a little bit, right? Yeah, some glitch happening, which is no good. So to minimize this glitch, I will try to use optimistic, okay? So that I can make the UI a little bit smoother. In the use text editor, I'm gonna have, just copy paste and the change you want to use optimistic, okay? And then this one will be optimistic content. And then I'm gonna say optimistic content. And then I'm gonna have the reducer, that action that is string. So here I'm gonna have receive the state and then action. At the end, I'm gonna just action will be my state. So looking good. And then here, I'll be passing the content that is optimistic content directly. Because when content from DB changes, this guy changes too. So looking good. And then when content changes, I'm gonna update that, right? So that this will be up to date. So set up. But when you do set optimistic content, then you need to start the transition. Without that, you'll be getting some error, okay? So set optimistic content to be updated content. So looking good. Yeah, optimistic content is very useful when you make the content smoother, okay? So let me try again. So here, now, let me refresh. Yeah, it still happens a little bit, but a little bit smoother, I will say. Let's reduce the time to update a little bit, maybe 200. And now it's fine. Yeah, I think this one is okay. Yeah, I'm just making it a little bit more extreme. But at least while user is typing, we're not updating. Oh, we found another bug here. Wow, a lot of bug. This one is very simple to fix here. So here, I'm gonna give break all. This will fix it, I believe. Yeah, so looking good. So fixed it, right? Yeah, now updating the database. Once we stop, it's gonna update. Okay, so this much is fine, I will say. I'm not going to be so picky. Let's regenerate text section. So designer web page. Yeah, so looking good. I think this one is pretty good, I would say. Yeah, of course, there are places that we can improve. But for now, I'm gonna live with that. Yeah, I kind of like it. So I think it should work beautiful now. So web dev, portfolio, intro section with the emojis and align to left. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up now. So this one is good. So then I'll continue in the next video. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Bye now.